How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for Farm Simulator 22 on the mod map Bloomfield, Canada. We're going to start by reading the description from the mod hub, and it reads: Welcome to Bloomfield, Canada. This map is loosely based off a real-life location. Features included within the map includes 4 farms, all with sellable buildings in order to customize it however you see fit. 109 farmlands for sale, lots of room for placeables, 58 fields of varying sizes, custom growth schedule, custom precision farming soil map, custom license plate, custom NPCs, custom placeables, AI traffic and pedestrians, functional train, all of the Elm Creek production facilities, additional paintable textures, 100 collectibles. There has been an update to this map, and it is for changelog 1.0.1.0, and it reads: improved lighting, which should fix vehicles appearing to float just above the ground, improved AI, improved clip distance, adjusted farmland behind sawmill, adjusted pallet spawn location at oil mill and sawmill, fixed stuck pedestrian at sawmill, fixed pricing on field 7, removed duplicate dairy production from store, removed props from placeable storage shed, convey all 1690 no longer appears in farm manager and start from scratch game modes, smooth terrain in fields 49, 51, and 52. Note that a new save game is required for this to take into effect. Other minor improvements. This map was made by Rubberburner89 and is 197.14 megabytes to download. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the map and see what that looks like, and there it is. You start off on your starting farm up in the upper northwest corner of the map, and you own farmlands number 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8. There are no required mods for this map. You are not able to purchase every portion of this map. There are several areas, including like this animal dealer, pretty much all the major sell points, and down here in the major part of town here. You do start out with animal pens. You do have a pigsty. There are contracts available, no production chains to start out with, and you have collectibles available, 100 of them to be precise. And they are the little wooden toys from Elm Creek. There are mods specific to this map, nothing under the buy menu, but under the build mode. If you take a look at sheds, you got a couple here. It says Bloomfield, Canada. Under silos, nothing. Silo extensions, nothing. Containers, you have a couple here. The water wells included the fire hydrant. Under tools, nothing. And under farmhouse, nothing. Under production factories, nothing there. Selling points, nothing. Greenhouses, orchards, and generators, all nothing. Under animal barns, nothing for cows, horses, pigs, sheep, chickens, bees, or others. Under decorations, there was nothing under fences. Lights, lights, you do have the medium street lamp. And then under others, nothing there. Under landscaping and painting, you do have several additional paint swatches. Under trees, nothing there. And a couple under plants, you have the short grass and medium grass. So we do start out here at the starting farm, so we're going to take a look at our starting equipment first. Under the buy menu, under own items, small tractors, you have a Case Maxim CVX 115. Medium tractors, a Massey Ferguson 7715S and a John Deere 7810. Under harvesters, a New Holland CH770. Trailers, the Rudolph TDK 301 RP, the header for the New Holland. Under cultivators, the Amazon Cineo 4000 Super. Under power harrows, the K-Brand HR 4040. Under seeders, the K-Brand Ventra 4030 and the K-Brand TF 1512, which is just the front tank for seed and fertilizer. Under balers, you have the Massey Ferguson 1840, that is the small baby bales. You also have the Accrusion Multipack D14 under bale loaders. This is the bale stacker. Under front loaders, you have the Quickie Q4M. Under front loader tools, the Albert pallet fork. Weights, you have a John Deere pickup 1150 as well as the AGCO 650. Under belt systems, you have the Conveyall 1690 as well as the Meridian TL 1239. So pretty decent amount of starting equipment. Right here you have your sleep trigger. And it just occurred to me I don't have my... There we go. And let's bring up the map. A little bit of storage here at your starting farm, not a ton. You can see some of your starting equipment is in there. A couple silos right here. You do have your conveyor belts right here for your in and output. Fuel tank right here. A couple more of your starting equipment, including your baler. You have your slurry point for your pigs. Your feed trigger is right here, and to load in is right here, and you can have up to 108 pigs in this pigsty. Some of your equipment is parked on the side of the field over in that direction, and we're going to go ahead and not that one. We're going to grab the tractor from over in this barn. But first, we got one last thing. Right here in the yard, you do have a little water well, so it's a little water point right there. Now we can grab the tractor and start heading around. So as we pull out and head out of the farm, you start with a little grass field as well as a larger field right there ready for harvest. And getting ready to approach the main road just a little ways ahead of us here. Okay, directly in front of me is the animal dealer sell point. And then just around the side here is the animal dealer itself. You can go here to purchase your animals. You can actually load right here and have them deliver your livestock right from this location. You don't have to do anything, but you do incur a delivery fee. So as you can see down there, this one that I'm hovered over for my pig barn that I have, I'm going to be charged $30 per pig for the babies, $50 for the adults. You can also purchase your animals directly from the pens and pastures that you have installed on the map. But again, you're going to have that delivery fee because it's simulating you having your animals delivered to you. To save on that delivery fee, to save that $30 for babies and $50 for adults, and it does vary from different breeds or different species of animals. So if your cows are, I think, your most expensive, then your horses and so on and so forth. And basically, the bigger the animal, the bigger the price. But to save on that delivery fee, purchase an animal trailer or lease an animal trailer. Bring it to this location on the map. When you bring it to this location, load your animals into the trailer and then deliver it to your pens and pastures personally. Then you'll save on that money. And that money does add up after a while. So from this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn around. And we're going to head to the right, around this corner here. You know what, and something I did not bother doing. Let's take a look at the map just real quick and we can kind of roll each other in. So we started up here in the upper northwest corner of the map at our starting farm. We saw the sleep trigger, the couple of silos that were here, the big barn, the fuel tank, and the water hydrant, or water well. We then pulled all the way out here. We saw the animal dealer as well as the animal dealer sell points. So what I was going to show is just the kind of range in the fields and their prices. So you have fields that start out really cheap because they're really small, which is really nice because you can kind of grow and build into them. Like Farmland 77 for 40,000. You have 22 here for 69,740, and then you really start getting into the big numbers. 1.2 million. You've got 815. You've got four. Like you can really kind of grow as your farm grows. But the cool thing about this map as well is there's also several farms which we'll visit, which will allow you to then continue to grow your operations from there. So now, let's pick it back up and keep going. Right here is the gas station, but at this gas station, not only do you have a fuel point for your diesel, you also have the biomethane station right here, and on the other side, way over in the corner here, is the electrical charge point. So whatever type of vehicle you have the ability to fill it up. So continuing on down the road. You got this big green structure coming up here on the left. That's our next point of interest. And just before the railroad tracks. So we're going to pull in here. Pull around the back side here. So here you have the debris crusher. You have a lime station. Right here, you have the input and output for the grain silo north. So this is your train silo where you can take in and take out. You have your output just here on the other side, right over there. And then over here, you have the train rent point. And now coming up here to my right is the second farm. We're going to call this farm 2. Now if we go to the map, we're here at the animal dealer, pulled around to stop to talk about the field prices. We saw the gas station, the biomethane station, as well as the electrical charge point. We then came over here, we pulled in, we saw the debris crusher, the lime station, the grain silo north, and the train rent point. And now we are here at farmland number 89. If we purchase this for $267,063, which we don't have enough money to do that right now, but we're going to do that. Okay, there we go. Now if we purchase this land, 89 for 267,063, you can see all these new triggers pop up. You have a couple of silos right here. Again, these are the ones that require the auger wagons, or not auger wagons, the augers themselves. You have a water point right there. You have a chicken pasture right here where you can have up to 30 chickens. And here is your egg spawn, and here is your feed trigger. Over here you have a sleep trigger, and then carrying it around the back side, we'll just run around. A little bit of storage at this farm, again not a ton. You have a sheep barn where you can have up to 65 sheep. You have your feed trigger here, and over here is your wool spawn point. In the back here you have a fuel tank right there, some more storage. And that is it for farm number 2. Go hop back into our tractor and continue the tour. Okay. Now just down this end of the map, we're coming right up against the border here. You have the dairy. And that's right there to my left. We'll stop right about here. This will work. So the trigger for it is right here. You can purchase this for $70,000. And you have your output right here and your input right here. Continuing down the road, going to turn right, go down this kind of dirt road. Now, I will say you do have to be careful when taking this dirt path. There's some trees like that kind right there. They're right up against the path in certain parts of it. And if you're too far to the left, you're going to run right into it. Especially if you got a bigger set of equipment, maybe a semi-truck or anything like that. Like I was driving this exact tractor in my kind of go-through before recording this. And the tractor ended up basically doing a pirouette right there in the middle of the road. It basically caught the top corner of the tractor and did its own little spin right there in the middle of the track. So not a good thing, especially if you're fully loaded with something. Yeah, you might end up losing your load because of that. So coming up here, we're going to make a right. You just got to wait for the turn. It's just after field 40, I do believe. Yep, just after this opening here. Gonna turn here, make a right. Now continuing on down this road, we're gonna cross underneath the train bridge. And right over there you can see those sets of buildings over there. That's our next point of interest. Now the train does come from that direction there, so going south to north. And over here is the sawmill. Pull in here. Now come around to the corner over here. You can purchase the sawmill for $100,000. And then here is your wood cell trigger. Your input right here. Your output, I believe, where was that output? I think actually it was around the backside here. Yes, here it is. So output for your production is right here, and your output for your wood chips is right back here. Hop back into the Massey and pull a UE. And now we will make a right. Oh, and the train is going past just right there. Kind of good timing there. And now, head down this track until we meet the main road. And once we meet the main road, we're actually going to come up on our next farm. That'll be farm number 3. You can kind of see it coming up in the distance to my right. Okay. Turn here. And then pull into the driveway right here. Okay. So take a look at the map. We're up at the second farm here. Pulled out, we saw the dairy, drove all the way down here, over to here. We took in the sawmill and the sawmill outputs for wood chips. Came back out, pulled all the way down here to the main stretch, and now we're here at farmland number 31, and we can purchase this for $518,496. And I actually need to reclaim some of the money I spent over here. So sell that. And now buy farmland number 31. Now one thing I want to show just real quick before we move on. So you can kind of see these different textures or different schemes here on the map. So you can see like this area is more green by the farm. But then you've got like this kind of orangey brown kind of area here. These are kind of small new growth trees here compared to old growth trees here. So you've got also more old growth with the spacing out right here. So what I'm going to do real fast is do a flyover and kind of illustrate what I'm talking about. So you can see this new growth follows along here, and you can kind of see how everything's just really short, and it's different kinds of trees as well. They're not really the big time harvestable trees, to where the old growth, the green trees, are older growth, I should say, are right here. But if we fly back over in this direction towards the sawmill, you can see now these are the really old growth, the ones with the spacing in here. It's yeah, so these are the really good harvestable trees. You're going to get a lot of laterage out of these. So just kind of a little FYI. So right here you have your sleep trigger for farm number 3. Around the back side here, again, a little bit more storage. Really, each one of these farms has a little bit of storage, but not an incredible amount. Little decorative barn right here. Fuel tank right here. You have a couple of silos right here. Some more storage here. And then here, you have a cow barn with your slurry point right there. Your feed trigger right here. Your load point for your animals is right here. You can have up to 45 cows. Straw trigger right here. And milk point right here. Now we'll go back to the front of the farm here. And again, according to the description, what's really nice about these farms is that they are completely removable. You can take out all the buildings and sell them, get rid of them, and then you can kind of customize the entire area, which is really nice. That makes it really easy to kind of make the farms your own. And you also have a water point right here. So what I'm going to do is sell off this land real quick because we need the money back. Now here we're making a right, and now we're going to be approaching farm number 4. That's going to be coming up here on our left. One thing to also look out for, to tell which farms are farms, like actual like placeable buildings and whatnot, look for on the map the red tops of the buildings. So you can see here how there's red rooftops here for the farms. Those indicate which ones are actual farms versus which ones are just kind of decoration. These are all decoration. You can still buy these areas and whatnot, but the ones with actual functioning triggers for animals and stuff, those are the red barns. And you got this one up here in the north with a red barn there. So that's kind of a little tool I use to tell which ones are which. So farmland number 62, if you purchase that for $220,662, you now get some more triggers. Around the front side here, you do have a water point right there. You have a sleep trigger right here. And then around the back side here, you have a horse barn. You can load in right here, and you have up to 8 horses. Open this door here, and your feed goes in there. So this one is, I would think, the smallest of the 3. No silos or anything like that. It's just a place for horses and a sleep trigger. So now we're going to come up in this direction. And at this next road, we're going to make a right. And just past this grove of trees here, we're going to make a left. And this is the biogas plant. So we can pull in here. You do, right up at the very front, have the inputs for liquids right there. You have a biomethane station and an electrical charge point right there. You have one of the inputs for solids right there to my right, and the other one also to my right. And the trigger is right here, and you can purchase this plant for $1.5 million. Not cheap. And you have your liquids outputs right here, aka your digestate. A couple of large bunker silos right here at the biogas. Now pull out and head down this direction. Okay, just continue heading in this direction, and we are approaching. To my left we have a gas station, and again also another biomethane station and a electrical charger in there as well, similar to the last gas station setup. Right here is the shop trigger, and around the back here, just on this hill, you see the shop trigger. Little shop area back here. I don't know why, but I really like how this kind of shop is laid out. Like this whole little area right here. Like it's just, I think just utilizes the space very well, and I could see like actual buildings being produced like this. Like this just seems like an actual realistic layout kind of deal to me. Okay, so scroll up here. Alright. To my left is the spinnery. Whoop, tried to hop out and it didn't work. 60,000 to purchase this. Outputs here, inputs here. Just across the railroad tracks here. To my left is the Johnson's Farmers Market. You got your inputs for your sell point. Here, you got your loose grains here and your bales and pallets right here. Hop back into the tractor, and then we're going to start making our way around the town. Oh dear. Okay. First one here is the grape processing unit. Outputs here, the trigger here for 80,000. You can purchase this, and your inputs there. Next to this is the carpentry. Over here, 60,000. You can purchase this. Your inputs are right here with your wood cell trigger right there, and around the back is your outputs. To my left is the cereal factory, right here. Inputs and outputs there, and your trigger for $110,000. You can purchase that. And now continuing down here, you can make a right into here. Around the corner. And this is the River Valley Biomass Energy. So the inputs for your cell point is right there with the wood cell trigger right here. Across the street and to my right is the bakery. Purchase this for 50,000. Outputs here and inputs right here. To my right and around the back is the Red Marble Bowling Restaurant sell point right here. Now to my right is the oil mill. Inputs are right here. Purchase this for $80,000. And your outputs... Huh, that's interesting. Normally your outputs are right here in front, but they're not showing. Where? Oh, here they are, right here in the corner. Okay. So these have been moved. So outputs right there. Continuing on. Over here is the grain mill. Outputs right here. Trigger right there for $96,000. You can purchase this, and inputs are right there. Now across the street, behind that building, is the fast food restaurant sell point, right here. Over here is the grocery mart sell point. And that, let me make sure, that is that. That is Bloomfield, Canada. Now it's time to render my opinion and tell you what I think. A scale of 0 to 5 as usual. I actually really like this map. I think that they did a very good job with the use of the space that's around. The even though that they use the kind of stock production points and all that, they still put in enough of decorative features and accents, and the way things are laid out, there's enough of them to make them still feel unique and still feel fresh, to where sometimes you'll just have like a production point just plonked down on a plot of land and, you know, called good. And this does enough to where it's utilizing the kind of spaces available, the undulations of the map, and the natural kind of look and rustic nature of the area to really accentuate like those production points. So even though they are production points that we've seen before, they're still, in my mind, still pretty fresh. One thing I didn't do, just real quick, I didn't kind of trace out where we were. So we were here at the fourth farm here. We came down and around, saw the biogas plant and the various fill-up triggers and electrical charge point. Came out to here, saw the gas station and the fill-up points for the biomethane electrical charge. Came over here to the shop, then the spinnery, then over here to the Johnson's Farmers Market. Then we saw a great processing unit, carpentry, River Valley Biomass Energy, the cereal factory, the bakery, the Red Marble Bowling Alley restaurant, oil mill, the grain mill, fast food restaurant, and grocery mart. So we kind of came around the whole town right there. So, like I was saying, the natural beauty of this map just really does all the kind of stock standard things justice, in my opinion. And again, just those kind of natural decorations really allow those stock productions to stay fresh. Outside of that, the color palette is really good. It's not too cartoony. There are pops of color here and there from like flowers and stuff, but it's not enough to make it feel unrealistic and just kind of like, again, cartoony is the best way I can describe it. I like the kind of breaking up of the forestry areas. It's not all just one type of forest. You've got this area coming up here where it's a lot of young growth, where it's not really going to be the same kind of tall harvestable trees. But then you've got the very spaced out kind of section of the map by the sawmill, where that is like really tall, really old trees that are going to produce the most amount of literage. You've got good squared off fields. As you can see, there's several that are good and squared off to where it's going to be very worker friendly. for the most part, you're going to have some difficulties around the borders because you got trees and stuff that are pretty close to the fields. And then you got others that are square-ish, but are still kind of odd shaped, odd enough to where, again, not going to be able to just throw a worker and let them go to town. You're going to have to do a little bit of headland work and things like that. You can also see like fields like 22 where it's like really out there and really, uh, going to make you do some work for it. But and you also start out with a good amount of land too. You got the four fields up in the northwest corner of the map, and one of them being a grass field. So you've got some kind of variety that you can go into, and they're kind of set away from the main body of the farm that allows you to kind of have that kind of separation from the rest of the farm itself. Ooh, I didn't see that car there. Kind of blended into the shadows. But yeah, I mean, just it's got a good amount of all the notes that I look for when wanting to play on a map. It's got the undulations and the line of sight kind of breaking off points. It's got good colors and textures. It's got good, well placed farms, not just kind of things that are plunked down, onto any given space. Um, and the ability to grow and kind of make it your own. That's also really important too, in my opinion, is being able to take the farm, from what it is and make it into what you want it to be, kind of thing. You can see a lot of our starting equipment's back here. You do start out with a field full of canola ready to harvest, an empty field that's ready for you to lime and get up to snuff, and then you got another one here ready to harvest full of wheat. So you've got, two main crops that you're going to be able to fill up your silos with right away, which is nice. I mean, that's a real cool kind of feature right there. But yeah, that is the map. That is Bloomfield, Canada. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.